Hi everyone, it's Ellen and today we are starting a new month in my junk journal. So I have spoken about this a little bit before, but I'm going to go into a bit more detail. I now journal chronologically, so before I would just pick my photos just randomly, pick a random page in my journal and work that way, and it got to the point where I felt like I was so behind in my journals that I decided to start working chronologically, as in I would do month by month in order, and then I decided to work chronologically through my journals as well, so that when I open them in a few years it's not all a jumbled mess. I just prefer it that way personally. I take so many photos, I have so many things to talk about that it just makes more sense in my brain to have it chronologically. That's just how I prefer to do it. So that's what I've started doing, and along with that I've been making these sort of title pages, so they do also have some photos. Sometimes they're just pretty title pages, but I'm really enjoying it because it gives me a chance to do something a bit more decorative. So for example, for this one we've just entered September 2022, and I had this gorgeous greetings card that I picked up in a charity shop, and I really wanted to use it for something special. So I've used it as my title page for a new month in my journal, and I'm really pleased I did this, because again, if I'm looking through these journals in sort of 10 years time, which I hope I am, or I hope Theo is, or someone is, it's just easier to figure out where we are, what we're doing. So yeah, so I've stuck these, I had these acetate letters, I think they're from Ellie's studio, they're very old, and I just wrote out sept with them. I've stuck them onto that greetings card, and I will go through and sew through them just to keep them in place, because they're acetate. I'm just a bit worried they'll just ping off with the glue, so I'm going to sew them in place. Also, everybody loves the texture of sewing in their journal, I think, so yeah, that's why I've done that. And then I've also got this old sort of like a envelope, and my plan is to chuck a load of photos in there that I don't have much to say about. So I've said it a million times, but my journals are photo heavy. I take a lot of photos. I can't get rid of them all. I have to add them all because they're always Theo. And I just can't bring myself to get rid of any of them because there was a reason that I took that photo in that moment, and I want to keep it. So a lot of the photos are just photos of Theo smiling, and they don't have a big story behind them, but they're important to me and I want to keep them. So every so often I'll do this, where I do just sort of an envelope or something and put loads of photos in there, and that way they're in my journal, but it hasn't taken up loads of journaling time trying to add them all in new and inventive ways. They are in my journal, quick and easy, and it's done. So that's why I do it that way. I embellished that envelope with loads of these clear stickers that I can't remember where they're from, all floral, and they're so pretty. Absolutely love them, and I've done them all along the side, and it's just a really nice sort of taking inspiration from the greetings card that I have with the florals on. So yeah, it looks really pretty. They almost look kind of vintage florals as well, which I really like. Inside this greetings card, I have added a beautiful drawing that Theo did while he was at his childminders, and it's just pencil on some orange paper. But again, I can't throw Theo's drawings away; they're precious. So I wanted to add it, but it is just a pencil scribble on an orange paper. So I thought, rather than trying to find, an interesting way to add it to my journal, I'll just back the greetings card with it, and then I can add some photos on the top, so his artwork is still in my journal without taking up a lot of unnecessary space. I hope that doesn't sound cruel. In my head it was a good way to do it because I've kept his artwork. I've never thrown away any of his artwork, and I have got it into my journal, but it's not taking up space of photos, etc. I've added a little label to the top of that, just with the date and that it's Theo's drawing, because you might not at first glance realise that there's anything on it, but there is. I will then add a couple of photos of Theo to this card, trying not to cover up any of the pencil lines that he did. So I backed those 2 photos with some white tissue paper, and I added some clear stickers from my Maggie Holmes sticker book. It just says my love and some stars and a rainbow, and I'm leaving that as it is because yeah, it's got Theo's drawing on it. I'm just sticking that into my journal with some double-sided tape. I finished the following page as well. I added a small sticker that just says captured moments, because obviously inside that envelope is just loads of photos. I also added a thick washi tape to that side of the page just to add something interesting to the side of the envelope. And those are those 2 pages done. Really simple, but really eye-catching and pretty. I'm really happy with them. The following page is another gorgeous piece of Theo artwork. This has been laminated, so the artwork that he does at one of the baby groups that we go to gets laminated, which is great, but it can be a little difficult to add to my journal. Obviously, when it's just on paper, I can just fold it and put it in an envelope or stick it down a lot easier, but when it's laminated, you can't really fold it. And I've got around that by just stapling it onto the next page. I've had to trim off some of it to fit into the page, but nothing important, I hope. So yeah, I've stuck that onto my page, and because it's laminated, I've added double-sided tape and staples, because I don't know how well double-sided tape will last in the long run with laminated paper. I've also added sellotape just to stop it pinging off at the sides, and then I'm going to add a label sticker that just says Theo's artwork and another little sticker that says thank you. And I've left my pages at this. I don't think I realised when I filmed this how quickly I'd got through this. I think because it took a lot of time in the prep work, and so when I've cut it down, it doesn't look like much in a video, but this did take a long time to make, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you very much for being here. Bye everyone.